In this video, I'm going to show how to replace the fuel pump assembly on this GMC Yukon. This is located in your fuel tank, which we will have to drop down for this repair. Let's get started. With the vehicle safely raised and supported, we're going to support the fuel tank. I have this adapter on my jack that goes up with some soft pads. This is a plastic tank, so you don't want to just put a floor jack underneath the center of it. You want to try to support it as evenly as possible. Also, when you do support it, don't cover up your straps because that's what we're going to undo next. Just put a little bit of pressure on it, just like that. The straps are held in with a 15mm headed bolt on the frame side only, so let's get this loosened up. And with the strap undone, you can take it and wiggle it and pop it out. Going towards the rear of the tank, you'll see where that strap is bolted on with the same bolt in the same area by the frame. With it unbolted, same thing, just move it around and unhook it from the frame. Looking at the back of the tank, you'll see where the filler neck connects. So let's take an 8mm socket and loosen up that clamp. Gently try to pry the filler neck hose away. You can help yourself with a pry bar, just make sure you don't break anything. The hose is broken free. It's just fairly stiff, so I might just wait until the tank comes down a little bit. We'll leave that there for now. Above the filler neck hose, you have this connection right here for this line that you have to squeeze the two green tabs for, and then pull this end away, which should disconnect the line. If you're having a hard time doing this by hand, sometimes these are quite stuck. You can use some pliers, just be very gentle. Make sure you don't break that clip. We'll let that hang right there. Two more lines coming from the tank go to the charcoal canister, the one with the white connector, and then the one with the red locking tab. For this one, pry out on the ends. That'll spread the two tabs apart and we can pop this out. And now pry this out. All right. Just let that hang over there. When it comes to the red locking tab on this one, what you want to do is push the sides in and up. Doing that will allow you to pull this away. We'll let that hang over there as well. Now carefully lower your fuel tank. We'll try to pry the filler neck hose off again. At the front of the tank, now that it's a little bit lower, we have this line right here with the blue lock. The blue lock, you just push out on those tabs and you're supposed to be able to pry it away, or up and out. That unlocks this line. Now also at the front of the tank, you'll have a line that goes right into this sensor here. You'll have to pinch the two blue tabs and push them in. With that done, you'll be able to lift this right up and off. There we go. Some fuel will come out, that's normal. And keep going down with your tank slowly and carefully. Try to wiggle this tank, and as it comes down, the front needs to come down first. Try to push it backwards. With the tank far down enough, we can see our two connectors on the fuel pump. This is for the fuel pump. This one is just for the pressure sensor. I'm going to pry with a pocket screwdriver out on the front of the connector. This is going to release the locking tab for it. A lot of times these get full of sand and debris, so it can be quite difficult to get these to pop out. There we go. And we'll do the same to the fuel pump connector. All right, we'll set that wiring harness aside. And at the back of the tank, now that we have access to it, there's a hose right here, a line, where just like the one on the evap canister, we have to pry out the two little tabs and then push this off. All right, now back below the tank, continue lowering it slowly and carefully. And right here on top of the tank is our fuel pump. A very important thing to do first is to clean this area so nothing falls in the tank when we take this apart. That's much better, and now I will spray this lock ring with some rust penetrant because it is quite rusty. Let's disconnect our lines first. These, just like the other ones, are going to be a squeeze and push type lock. So right here, this one you have to push in and up. I sprayed these with rust penetrant as well, just because often these get stuck. It looks like both sides popped out, which is fine. And now we can just grab this and push it. It's easier to pry up against my hand with the pliers. Okay, leave that there. I'll do the same to this one. Just push these lines out of your way. And now, preferably with a brass punch, but if you don't have one, just be very careful not to create sparks because there's fuel fumes in the air. Turn this ring counterclockwise. That'll unlock the pump, and we can pull it out. All right. At this point, our ring is free. You have to lift it up, lift it right up and out. Now, all of this debris here, I want to blow it off before the pump comes up and off. And with all that debris removed, we can lift up our fuel pump, lift it. We're gonna have to drain it at the same time. This right here is going to be a hose that needs to be removed from this and transferred over to the new pump. So we're going to squeeze the two tabs and pull this off. We're gonna have to kind of let it sit in the fuel tank, pull the pump straight up and out. And of course, try to drain as much of the fuel as you can out of the pump back into the tank. There's the fuel pump. We'll set this aside. Clean out the seat of the O-ring for the fuel pump, and then we'll install the new O-ring. A lot of times this won't quite stay in place, but that's okay. As long as it's in this area, we can drop the pump in and then make sure that it's on after. Before the pump goes in, you want to make sure that this arm for the float is attached. It goes right in these little hooks, and you want to press it and lock it in if it isn't already. Slide this down with the float first, then the fuel pump assembly. Now before we resecure our line, the clip may have come off of the other pump. If not, take it off and slide it on this one. That's what locks this in. We'll fish for our line. We'll slide this on and lock it in. There we go. Pull on it to ensure that it's not going to pop off. There we go. That's locked in. I had to pry these tabs apart again. And now as we drop this down, we want to make sure that not only is this facing the correct orientation, but also that our O-ring is still seated in place. There we go. Now we'll take our ring, get it back under here. If the pump comes up, that's okay. Just press it down and ensure that the O-ring is still seated. We'll start it by hand and now tap it to lock it in. That's pretty good right there. That's locked in. Let's remove our caps that protect these lines and reconnect our fuel lines. You need to push these on until they click. There we go. That's bottomed out. If you can't lock this lock, that means it's not fully installed and you need to keep pushing it and wiggling it. Perfect. These are locked in. Let's raise up our fuel tank. Pay attention to any hoses and lines that might run up there so that you don't pinch them. And before we go too far, let's reconnect things at the top. This line right here at the back needs to go over the cross member. Keep that in mind. If it doesn't reach, you'll have to raise up your fuel tank a little more. All right, plug in the two connectors on the fuel pump side. Make sure they both click into place. That way you know they're locked in. Now we'll lift up the fuel tank all the way. Now you can center it up and push it up all the way. At the front of the tank, let's reconnect the two lines that we had here. One of them is this one that went on the sensor that's mounted to the frame rail. Just press it on. Press it down all the way and lock it. Make sure that lock clicks. If you can't lock the lock, that means it's not pressed in all the way. And we also had this line at the front of the tank. Slide that in and lock it. There we go. Now let's reconnect the two lines that go on the charcoal canister. The smaller one on the rear, and don't forget to lock it. And then this one on the larger fitting. There we go. This one doesn't have a lock. It kind of automatically locks as it clicks in. And then we have this one that's right above the filler neck hose. Reattach this as well. And then we have the filler neck itself. All right, make sure it's all the way on, and we'll tighten this up. With these worm clamps, if you snug it and you see that it's starting to squeeze the hose, stop right there. This right here feels like it's plenty tight for me. If you grab the hose and it won't twist, that's plenty tight. Now let's reinstall our straps. Hook it in on this side, and on the other side, line it up, get the bolt ready, and thread it in. We'll torque these bolts to 30 foot-pounds. We'll reinstall the other strap as well. Bolt it up. And torque it to 30 foot-pounds as well. Now you can lower your support. What you want to do now once you're done with the repair is cycle the ignition on and off. So we're going to hold on the start button. This is going to prime the fuel pump. I'm going to shut it off. Do this about 3 to 4 times. And once you're ready to start, put your foot on the brake, start the engine. Everything runs smoothly, everything is good. Check for fuel leaks, and there you have it. Job is done.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.